We are starting this new text, Kavijeevitani. This is part of the first paper in Samartha. So, Samartha, you have three texts for the first paper, which is a Gadyam portion. So, the first one is Gadya Sangraha. The second one is Champuramayanam Balakandam, which is written by Bhojaraja. The third one is a compilation of Kavijeevitani. There are about 10 kavis here: Vyasa, Valmiki, Jagannatha Pandita, Bhavabhuti, Bharavi, Magha, Banabhattaha, Bhasaha, Harshavardhanaha, Kalidasaha. So these are the 10, about the 10 kavis that we are going to read about them. So there are some theories, there are some stories associated with each of those kavis, and some you get to know. At least you get the parichayaha bhavedityataha evam vidyate. So I think in the question paper, we can discuss the question paper at the end after the 10 essays are over. And then we'll see how the questions are asked. Okay. So you want to start? Bhagavan Vyasaha. It doesn't say who has written this. Sankarana Karta, Jayachandra Shastri. Okay. I think one person has done all of this. Yeah.
Bhagavan Vyasaha. Bhagavato Narayanasya Amshena Ayam Munihi Avatarat.
Ava plus Atarat. So Avatarat.
Avatarat iti Nishchayaha. Asya Krishnaha Krishnadvaipayanah ityapi Namantarani. Ayam Vyasaha Vasishtasya.
Meaning solindu if you can. So Bhagavataha Narayanasya Amshena Ayam Munihi Avatarat iti Nishchayaha. So there is a Nishchayam, there is a definite understanding that Ayam Munihi ityukte Bhagavan Vyasaha eva Narayanasya Amshaha asit Amshavataraha ityuchyate. So we have Purnavataras, which is Krishna, etc. Leelavataras, there are Dashavatara. These are all one of the Leelavataras. So Leelavatarangardu vandu Amshena eva tatra ekam karyam kartum eva tesham avataraha asit. Iti karanat Amshena eva tatra avataraha bhavati. Sampurnataya sakala vibhutibihi saha Bhagavan atra na bhavati. So these are all some small amsha. He only takes one aspect of Bhagavan and he takes this avatara. So Bhagavataha Narayanasya Amshena, with one part of Narayana, Ayam Munihi, this Muni, avatarati, avataram karoti. So avatarat langlakaraha. Iti nishchayaha.
So other than Krishna, is there any other Purna Avatara?
So they do say that Rama is also Purnavatara, but generally Ramavatara is not considered as Purnavatara because he doesn't show his Ishwaratvam there. So that's why they say Krishna is the only one who has shown both his Purna Swarupam and has also, lived like a Manushya. At the same time, he has also shown his divinity at every place. So none of the other avatars are like that. Yeah. And he was also born. Devaki tu garbhavati asit tadanantaram tasya, there was his birth and he lived till a ripe age, all that was there. அதாவது இந்த பேரம்பேத்தி எடுத்து இருக்கிறதுங்கிறது சொல்றோம் இல்லையோ அந்த மாதிரி he had grandsons, great grandsons also while he was living. So that's a பூர்ணமா இருக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்றோம்.
Asya Krishnaha Krishnadvaipayanah ityapi Namantarani. So two other names.
So the reference for this first one is Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave ityasti. So adha.
Krishnaha Krishnadvaipayanah itapi Namantarani. Ayam Vyasaha Vasishtasya Napta Shaktehe Pautraha Satyavati Parasharayoho Putraha Shukasya Pita iti Pauranikaha Sampradayaha. So who's the parent, who's the grandparent, and all those things are mentioned here.
So Vasishtasya Napta. Napta is actually great grandson.
Great grandson.
Shaktev putra pautraha. So Vasishtasya putraha Shaktihi. So Shaktehe putraha Parasharasya putraha Vyasaha. Yes. So Satyavati and Parashara. Vyasasya
व्यासस्य
putra.
पुत्रः शुकः.
Hmm.
So पौराणिकसम्प्रदायः. So this is all we get it from the Puranas.
Puranas. So this is the tradition that is followed in the Puranas.
And all the Puranas are written by Vyasa.
So yes, all the Puranas have been written by Vyasa. And
I'm
Vyasa is also a Padavi. Adavadhu, Vyasa is, so his name is Krishna Dvaipayana or Krishnaha. Vyasa is the title given to him. Every in every Chaturyuga, you have one Veda Vyasa. In the 28th Chaturyuga, which is where we are now, Ashtabhimshati Tame Chaturyuge, Yuge, Ashtabhimshati Tame Yuge ladane number ko. So in this 28th Yugam, Veda Vyasa, that is Parashara Putraha, Shukasya Pita eva Vedavyasaha Asit. Krishna Dvaipayanaha eva Vedavyasaha Asit. Tat Purvam, Saptavimshati Tame Yuge, Parasharaha Vedavyasaha Asit.
Oh, then it could be like multiple different people would have written different Puranas. It's
You
not
look
like
at
one
Vishnu Puranam. Vishnu Puranathla, Parashara mentions to Maitreya who were the Vyasas, who was the Veda Vibhaga Karta in every Yugam, in every Chaturyugam. Cholra And he also mentions the following ones. Bhavishyat, who the next one is going to be Ashwathama, avarda Vyasa, he is going to be the Vyasa nanikre. Drauni. Ama.
अयं व्यासः अनन्तवेदराशिं ऋग्यजु साम अथर्वणा रूपेण चतुर्धा विभज्य वेदव्यास इति विरुद्धभाग आसीत्. So he divided the 4 Vedas and got the special name.
So Ananta Vedarashihi. Purvam tu Vedarashihi Ananta Asit. Prajapati Samaye. So the moment Prajapati was created, that is Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma was created, it was just one big corpus of Vedas. There was no divisions at all. And people had to remember that in that manner. When Vyasa came in Dwapara Yugam, he saw that people found it very difficult to remember and people did not, the minds of the people were getting corroded so much that they could not retain the corpus of Vedas. So he decided to separate it into 4 Vedas, and then each Veda he gives one Shishya, and then that Shishya Prashishya Kramena Tatra Bahavaha Bhafyaha Shakaha Asan. So first it was divided into different branches, and then each branch was transferred to another Shishya. All this is given in the 3rd Amsha in the Vishnu Puranam. That is what we have been reading right now. Ipo or last few classes படிச்சேன்னா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும்.
So that means the Ananta Vedarashi means already he had curtailed some of it in order to divide them into 4 Vedas. That means if it was a like endless kind of thing, so he already removed some of it and then
not removed. You don't say it as removed because it seemed like Ananta iva asit. So you take it anda madri. Millions of years in solra madri. I've told you million times don't do this. We never say million times, I'm sure. Tatha Ananta Vedarashihi, it seems so vast that it seems endless anda madri. Like the ocean.
भविष्यकालिकमानवा अल्पमेधसः भवेयुः इति विचिन्त्य एवं विभागं कृतवान् इति प्रतीतिः. Okay, so he knew that the future people will be dull-headed, so he had to do less work.
Yes.
To give them less work. महाभारतम् अनेन विरचितम्. भारते अनेकानि उपाख्यानानि सन्ति. Okay.
Upakhyanam are usually some extra stories that you have, which are on the kotu varda shrinkhala rupena tatra alpaha kataha sarvatra vartante khalu. That is upakhyanam.
So Katha and Upakhyanam difference is this is not the main storyline, huh?
This is not the main story. This is like the subsidiary, short narrate episodes.
तस्मात् अस्य इतिहासत्वं सिद्धम् एव तथापि तेषाम् उपाख्यानानाम् उपदेशरूपत्वेन काव्यत्वमपि सिद्धं भवति उपाख्यानानि सन्ति that's why it is already having the इतिहासत्वम् or what
no. So, anena Mahabharatam virachitam, anekani upakyanani santi. So, there are many side stories, many small narratives heard from others and all that. So, itihasa is like a history. So, it is like a documentation. So, you can take, that is why Mahabharata is like a documentation of that period of time, which was there. Okay, so it is not like Ramayanam, which just follows one character. Mahabharatam has so many characters in it and so many people are coming into it. Okay, tathapi tesham upakhyananam upadesha rupatvena, because those small tales which are all there have actually been put together so that it is a sort of a didactic nature, like giving advice to everybody. Hence, it also becomes a kavyam, because kavyam, upadesha yuje abdin irukku. Adukku one of the kavya prayojanam is kavyam yashase, arthakrite, vyavahara vidhe. It is for fame, arthakrite, it gives money, vyavahara vidhe, it teaches us how to move with people, vyavahara vidhe, shivetara kshataye, shiva itara kshataye, to remove amangalam, sadya, शिवेतर क्षतये काव्यं यशसे अर्थकृते व्यवहारविदे शिवेतर क्षतये कांता संमिततया उपदेशयुजे அப்படினு வரும் சத்ய பிரசாதம் it gives immediate happiness and it also gives an upadesha like how a wife gives an upadesha in a very sweet manner. Because this upakhyanam has the upadesham also, it is termed as a kavyam.
Okay, that Upadesha Rupatvena is giving the justification for that being called as a kavyam. It is giving the kavyatvam part of it.
Yes.
What is the tasmad asya itihasatvam? What is giving the tasmad?
Upakhyanam. Because it has many upakhyanas, it is not a full kavyam. It is an itihasa. It has documented narratives. Hence, it is called an itihasa.
So, itihasam, one of the requirement is it must have a upakhyanam?
Yes, a lot of small upakhyanams. You have Shabari upakhyanam, you have Kumbhakarna, Ravana's upakhyanam. Ravana is the main character, but you will have other small stories. Kabandha, Andamari Sharabanga. So many small stories within Ramayanam also, right?
Okay.
But if it becomes an Upadesha Rupatvam, then there is Kavyatvam also. So Ramayana is also an Adi Kavyam there. Then you have Mahabharata, which is also a kavyam.
अस्मिन् ग्रन्थे 18 पर्वाणि वर्तन्ते चतुर्विध पुरुषार्थानां सर्वेषां च विषयाणां विस्तरेण कथनात् अस्य महत्त्वम्. Okay.
So the greatness of this is because it tells us about the Chaturvidha Purushartha, which is Dharmartha, Kama, Moksha. And Sarvesham Vishayanam. That is why it says, the Yadiha Asti Tadanyatra, Pinadi Varde. Yeah. Okay.
अतएव महत्वात् भारवत्वाच्च महाभारतम् ईर्यते.
Mahatvat, great, and Bharavatvat, it is heavy with subject matter.
Voluminous as well as the dense.
Dense, yes.
उक्तं च भगवता एव. अधुना भगवता एव इत्युक्ते भगवता
Bhagavan, I think Krishna only.
Okay. धर्मे चार्थे च कामे च मोक्षे च भरतर्षभ यदि हास्ति तदन्यत्र यन्नेहास्ति न तत् क्वचित्.
न तत् क्वचित्. So dharme cha, arthe cha, kame cha, mokshe cha, in all of these four purusharthas, yat iha asti. Etesham vishayeshu, eteshu vishayeshu, yadyat Mahabharate vartate, tat anyatra vartate, tadeva anyatra vartate. Yat na iha asti, iha nasti chet, Mahabharate yadi eteshu vishayeshu kimapi nasti, tarhi tat anyatrapi nasti. Na kvachit.
भारवत्वं च अस्य वेदचतुष्टय समकक्षता प्राप्तेरेव भारवत्वं च अस्य वेदचतुष्टय समकक्षता प्राप्ता एव ओके प्राप्तेः एव भारतं पंचमो वेदः इति
What does
प्रसिद्धिः
that mean? So bharavatvam angarche denseness. Why do we say it is dense? It has that denseness because it is able, it gives us, it stands on par with the four Vedas. Veda chatushtayasya samakakshata praptehe. In order to obtain the quality that it is to be valued as equal to the four Vedas. That is why it is called Bharatam Panchamo Vedaha.
वेदः इति प्रसिद्धिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्.
Jaya is the name of Mahabharatam. It was never called Mahabharatam. Mahatvat Bharavatvacha Mahabharatam. But the original name that Vyasa gave for this compilation is called Jaya. So Narayanam Namaskritya, having done Namaskara to Narayana, Naram cha Narottamam cha. So Naram, Narottamam Naram cha Namaskritya. Nareshu Uttamaha Naraha. Who is that Nara? Nara Narayanau Namaskritya. Nara Narayanau is the avataram of both Shesha, Adishesha and Vishnu. Both of them took an avatara of Nara and Narayana and they both did tapas in Badrikashrama. This is also one of the Amshavataras of Vishnu. So Narottamam Naram Narayanam Chaiva Namaskritya. Doing Namaskaram to both Nara and Narayana. Devim Saraswatim cha Namaskritya, having done a Namaskaram to Saraswati Devi, Jayam Udirayet, one has to say Mahabharatam. Jaya. Iti
Bharate Pratiparva Drishyate. So it is not just one time at the beginning of that, but in every parva we have to say this.
Yeah. It is said, it is seen to be there in every parva. I need to check it.
Even if it is seen, that means we have to say it also when we are
reciting. Yeah, obviously.
Atra Jaya Shabdena Bharatameva Uchyate. Okay. अष्टादश पुराणानि उपपुराणानि च भगवता व्यासेन लिखितानि इति प्रसिद्धिः ओके पुरापि नवम् इति पुराणपदस्य व्युत्पत्तिः पुरापि नवम् इति पुराणपदस्य
यद्यपि पुरातनविषयाः तत्र वर्तन्ते तथापि नूतनतया तत्र उपदेशाः लभ्यन्ते इति कारणात् पुरा अपि नवम् It is very relevant even today. That's why.
सर्गस्य प्रतिसर्गस्य वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चेति पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम् इति पुराणलक्षणम्.
So this is the lakshanam. Sargaha is srishti kramaha. Then pratisarga, there are two meanings for pratisarga. One is pralayam. The other meaning is Prati Sarga, Anu Sarga iti. So the subsidiary creations that have all been created. The first Moola creation is Sargaha, then the which comes only up till the Tanmatras and Bhutas, etc. Not Bhutas, the Panchabhuta. Then from the Panchabhuta, you find the Bhuta Rashis which are created. That is Prati Sarga. So those are the subsidiary creations. Vamshaha. First he created these Prajapatis, and from the Prajapati who were all born, those people gave birth to other kings and all that. So that Vamsha, lineage is described. Manvantarani, the fourth one is Manvantara. There are totally 14 Manvantaras in one Kalpam. And there are 71 Chaturyugas in one Kalpam. So each Manvantara is decided by one Manu. One Manu is the Adipati for one Manvantara. So there are totally 14 Manus. And how is the Manvantara divided? That sort of a description is also given. Vamsha Anucharitam, not only the initial Vamsha, But just the lineage alone is Vamsha. Just enumerating, giving a tree chart. That's all. Vamsha anucharitam ityukte Vamshe ye prasiddhaha asan teshameva charita varnanam. Tesham charita varnanam tu anucharitam. Vamsha anucharitam iti. So you don't pick up and tell the story of each and every one. But it is like writing memoirs. You know, like every actor doesn't bring out a memoir, but there is one particular person who writes a memoir, or someone who writes an autobiography will not write the autobiography of the neighbor here, or every five people who have lived in the neighboring house. Tatha nasti kalo. You only write an autobiography of a person who is very famous. So Vamshanucharitam details about people who are famous or something that we can learn about, because Puranam is Mitra Sammitam. It is like a friend giving us advice on how to live. So these are the 5 things that have to be there in a Puranam. That is why Mahabharatam or Ramayanam is not a Purana.
It has to be only somebody famous. It need not be somebody who's not famous but who has achieved something great and some great.
He becomes famous, no? We are all somewhere in Kali Yugam. So he would have been famous then, no? That's why this is there in Dwapara Yugam.
Yeah, this is for the Mahabharatam and those things, but for normal people like us who are living now, does it have to be only, I mean, for
not
selling
famous. Selling quality can be because of the achievements also, whatever it may be, no? Not necessary. What you learn from that is much more important.
Correct. केचन तेषां पुराणानां सङ्कलनकर्ता व्यास इति वदन्ति. Okay.
So he is only the Sankalana. There are existing stories and he has only collected it. Iti vadanti. Yeah.
श्रीमद् भागवतं सर्वथा पुराणेषु भागवतं अत्यर्थं उत्कृष्टं भवति. Okay.
In all manner, in sarvatha, in every way, among the Puranas, Bhagavatam is the most, it takes the highest place, Utkrishna.
व्यासः अन्ततः आत्मशान्तिम् अलभमानः भगवल्लीलारूपं भागवतम् अलिखत् इति प्रतीतिः.
So antataha, at the end, Ashtadasha Puranani virachayya Vedanam Vibhagam Kritva Tadanantaram Tassito Atmashantihi Evana Asit. So Atmashantim Alabhamanaha. Without attaining Shanti, he was very agitated. So he was sitting and doing tapas there. Then Narada comes and tells him, gives him the advice. He tells him about the Bhagavatam and he gives him the Chatushloki Bhagavatam also and says, you write. Then Vyasa starts writing and he feels happy about it. So Bhagaval Leela Rupam Bhagavatam Alikhat iti pratitihi. This is there in the Bhagavatam itself in the beginning.
Atrapi upakataha anekaha vartante. Vividhani padyavruttani api prayuktani.
Different meters.
Bhashapi, it is custom, right?
Oh, yes, it is. I'll tell you after we finish this. Yeah.
Okay. Bhashapi madhura vartate. Kataha sahridaya hridayani avarjayanti.
The stories pull, attract, avarjayanti. It pulls the minds of Sahridaya, a rasika.
Prajanam bhakti bhavam vistarayati Srimad Bhagavatam.
It increases that devotional attitude of people.
Ayamapi grantaha Ramayanavad prasiddha eva.
This is also prasiddham. Now, there is if you go into history or analysis and all that, if you look at the many historical, Sanskrit literature, history of Sanskrit literature, then this Srimad Bhagavatam would not feature there because the language, it uses many different vrittam. The words are also very difficult. So it seems like a later composition, maybe some 14th century, 15th century kind of, or 12th century, 13th century kind of composition. It doesn't have the simplicity that Puranas have. All of the Puranas, if you see, most other Puranas, they all have a simple style in their expression. So the language is very simple. The Arsha Prayogas that you see are also very different from what is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is completely different from the other Puranas that you see. That is why a lot of people feel that it was not written by Vyasa. Not necessary. You know, Adi Shankara, who wrote, Bhajagovindam, or the Shiva Panchakshara Stotram, also wrote Brahma Sutram, Bhashyam. He also wrote Gita Bhashyam. Can't we do complex things also? அதாவது கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி சாஸ்திரிகள் ஒரு வாத்தியார் வந்து எப்படி ஆர்கே சார் will say, see, today my wife feels like making only parupu sambar or rasam, that too gottu rasam. Tomorrow she might feel like making Mysore pak. Can she not do both? For that, do I say that she has not, one who knows only to do this cannot do that, or one who knows only to do a complex sweet cannot do a simple item? Tatha nasti. So it could be, it's a very good example.
Very good example.
So அதனால பண்ணிருக்கலாமே, ஏன் அதை டவுட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்பர். And the contention is that the only Devi Bhagavatam is the original Ashtadasha Puranani. This is written by somebody else. Okay, no matter what, today this is considered as a Puranam. It has so much value in it, and just as how the preamble is given in the first skanda, that he did not find Atma Shanti even after writing so many Dharma Granthas, he wanted to write a Bhakti Grantha, and so he wrote this Bhakti Grantha. Why not? Focusing on bhakti. So that is why it is much more attractive than any of the Puranas you find. People read Bhagavatam today much more than other Puranas. Okay.
And also, after writing all those Puranas, lot of experience he has gained, so he can write even complex.
Now he knows which is the essence, that he has to portray. Adanale he does that. Yeah. Okay.